Good afternoon, everyone. So at Luxome, we create high-quality, stylish homes for students and young professionals across the Northwest. And we do everything ourselves. So we do the sourcing, we renovate, we do the lettings, the management, and essentially we deliver a seamless service, a seamless experience, which is design-led from start to finish. So what I'm going to cover today is the interpersonal relationships that we've built with our tenants, which have really helped for us to have very few voids, absolutely top-notch occupancy levels, and also the top sector in the rents. Then I'll talk about how we prepare our residents for shared housing. Not all of them come prepared to live in a shared home. They have different expectations. And then obviously how we design spaces to make sure that we are delivering great communities. So first of all, interpersonal relationships. So when starting out, you likely handle everything yourselves. My husband Punk and I, we did that. We did everything from lettings, property management, compliance, and it's how most of you would have done it as well. But as your team grows, think about what your business needs. What personalities does it need? So we found out that a caring, empathetic property manager is priceless to us, because she is someone who actually genuinely understands what our tenants want and expect, and she's actually quite invested into their lives, and it's made such a massive difference to the whole experience for our tenants. Admin can be taught, but empathy is inherent, it's a natural, you've got to be born with it. This is a service role, so your tenants are your clients, and they see the property as their home. So take the time to know your tenants. Remember, every home is different. So especially like if you have second-year students, in an 8-bed, they're likely to be very different and may need different types of support than long-seated professionals in another home. Curating interpersonal relationships. So we do a lot of matching of our tenants. So we try and create a community culture which we feel fosters respect and belonging to a home. So we match their lifestyles and personalities and build a cohesive home. What we found is that when housemates bond, they support each other. They actually encourage each other to stay longer. They look after the house better. And they will stay longer because they're anchored by those around them. Know your residents. What's the vibe in their house? Are they remote workers who unwind over Friday night drinks? Or are they NHS heroes on shifting schedules, catching rest when they can? Understanding their world makes a world of difference. So these are my 5 top tools that I use within the business, for building great tenant relationships. First of all, we start with purposeful intro calls. So when you are actually speaking to them, have a plan, have it all sorted out in your head before or even down on paper. Ask good questions and set the tone about what you're expecting in your property as well. I don't think you can put enough price on the willingness to wait, Yes, chase leads fast, but don't force a bad fit. Surveys and questionnaires are our next big thing for pure, honest feedback so that we can improve ourselves. Anonymous feedback. So essentially, we found that it equals harmony in a house in the way that if you go and make improvements on top of what you've heard back from them, be prepared to take it on the chin if the feedback is bad. Breathe, reflect, improve. Last but not the least, outsource out of hours. And that includes evenings and weekends, Set clear after-hours support so you and your team can switch off. It's really important. We use PropCall, but there's tons of other virtual assistant options available out there. Planning and preparing your residents, preparing them for shared living by creating robust welcome packs. So that is one of ours. That's our residence handbook that goes out to each of our tenants when they move in. And you'll see in a moment that's our property manager, Susie. She's introduced in the welcome pack, so everyone knows who to look out for, and they can recognize her. So essentially what we do here is we've gone out of our way to put all the common questions and issues that come up. We've already put answers to them, and we've put them into the welcome pack already, so that at least some of the things like, for example, the internet account details, we put them into the individual house details, so residents can contact the always cheerful Virgin Media team, and it just makes it easy, makes it smooth, makes them feel at home from day one. Give them clear house rules and responsibilities, because this equals less drama and more harmony. So sort out cleaning, noise, guest rules early. It makes absolute difference to how they will deal with problems coming through. They will know what you're expecting out of them. And we've co-created rules for the houses with past and present tenants. We've asked the outgoing tenants what they would have wished to see within the houses and done things accordingly. And if you have a tenant in the home that you know is going to speak well of you, definitely make a point to introduce them to the new incoming tenant. Makes a massive difference, makes them feel at home straight away. So 3 simple steps to actually prepare them for this is meet them at the house, and not just for the keys. Move-in appointments matter. We like to welcome all our new housemates properly, show them around, point out things like where the router is or which kitchen cupboard is theirs, so that they can settle in. And also, it just makes them feel more welcome. So picking up keys from our office is a definite hard no for us. Keep everyone in the loop. So your current tenants, let them know via that somebody is joining the house, so that they can add this person onto the WhatsApp group. We've got a few professional houses where the current tenants will actually make the effort to take the incoming tenant out for drinks, etc. It just makes it such a more lovely experience for the incoming tenant and makes them feel like they're at home. Designing spaces. So the must-dos, of course, know your local rules. Get familiar with your local council HMOs and requirements, and then start building a good relationship with them, with their team early on. Every council has its own quirks. Some might care a lot about things like the exact size of a bathroom sink. We've just recently had to change bathroom sinks. It's actually meant that we've had to create new bathrooms because the sinks were just right enough for the size of bathroom it was. So now having to change that just because of HMO regulations that we didn't actually follow fully in one of the houses has meant quite a lot of expense, and also the headache. We've got a massive student turnover going on, so having to take out the time to do those works and get the houses back ready has been a headache. So follow the rules. Consider how your tenants will interact. You may be tempted to squeeze in as many bedrooms as possible. It's always the way. So, all of us are here to make money. but then consider how your tenants will sit and interact in that space. Are they going to be able to have a lovely group chat together? Or is there enough space around the table for them to sit? Or is the sofa big enough? And budget for high use. All of you know that HMOs take a lot more battering than normal family homes do. So anything, your fridge, your sofas, your hob, cooker, everything will get a lot more high use than they would in a family home. So budget for that, and to be able to change them regularly as well. And then using white in high traffic areas like hallways makes things a lot easier when it's time to freshen up. Because we did go with colors initially, and you'd be surprised at how shades change, and you can't just do a quick touch up. You've got to do the whole wall again, unless you're going with white. The advantages of actually thinking your tenants' move-ins through and how they're going to stay in that property. So we draw people who are more likely to stay longer, treat the property with respect, and make constructive contributions by carefully selecting communities and placing a high value on compatibility. We will wait for the correct tenant to match the vibe in a house. And then the result is long-term occupancy. So we will get sustainable occupancy. We achieve a lot more stable long-term tenancies by filling rooms one at a time, using quality over speed. So we use the approach, and we find that using selectivity when choosing new tenants, we have a better overall experience for them and less turnover for us. And there's increased occupancy, of course. Organic referrals are another bonus from it, and waiting lists that have come about because now people are hearing about us, hearing about the lovely experience they have from start to finish. The houses are well designed, they're being well looked after, they've got a lovely community that they're living with, so they're staying for longer, and then they're referring us on to other people. So outcomes you can expect. So average tenancy is definitely a lot longer. The churn out is obviously much lower. Referral rates are up through the roof for us. We are actually creating proper waiting lists. And then maintenance complaints, because we do we've got a good reporting system, obviously, through COHO, and we are proactive rather than reactive. So we are actually preventing a lot of the maintenance complaints coming through. And it helps, it really helps in running a much smoother system and a much smoother tenancy for the tenants. So essentially, continuously improve, benchmark your service metrics like you would rent collection. Be honest with yourselves. Like I said before, take any bad feedback on the chin. And letting homes, essentially, is a partnership between management and residents. When you treat tenants with respect and create spaces you'd be proud to live in, everyone wins. Thank you.